Hey, what's up YouTube? Dope as Yola here. Hope you're having a dope day. Welcome back to another story time. Guys, this is the Adventures of Yola channel. I thought I said it enough, but let me say it again. This is a family-friendly channel. I can't talk about cussing. I can't talk about smoking. I can't leave it in the comments. I'm monetized on this channel. And by monetized means I get paid. For my views, YouTube actually pays me. I'm verified on here, so help me, okay? YouTube loves me on this channel. They recommend my videos, everything. The Adventures of Yola channel, family friendly, pretend that the teacher's in the room. The Dope as Yola channel, pretend that it's the first day of college and you got a bunch of money and go have fun. That's the Dope as Yola channel. Go have fun and eat candy. But on this channel, guys, I would appreciate it if you try not to cuss in the comments or in the chat and try to refrain from candy talk. And if you haven't already noticed, I did not do my hair. I don't know. I did my hair yesterday for the podcast, and as I'm doing, I'm like, I don't like my hair anymore. I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna do something else. So just for everybody in the comments like, yo, what's up with your hair? That's why. All right, that was a lot of stuff to say at the beginning of the video, but guys, let's get into this episode. This story time, you guys have asked hundreds, if not thousands of times. Do a UFO video, do an aliens topic. I don't like to talk about that stuff. I don't like to talk about any of that stuff because I'm afraid of the government. And I know a lot of you are like, stop exaggerating, you're being too dramatic. I don't care. I'm gonna be cautious. I don't like talking about it. But now that the government's talking about it, it's on CNN, it's on every platform, I'm gonna talk about stuff, and if you know me personally, you're like, finally? I'm from Merced, California, a hotspot for UFOs. If you can Google it right now, Merced has so many UFO sightings, it's insane. So let me start by saying, guys, I don't know what it is. I don't know what we're seeing. I don't know what people capture on tape. I just wanted to do a topic on aliens since CNN's talking about it. I feel safe enough to go, hey, I might have seen some stuff. So here we go, guys. Let's get into story number one. This is aliens or UFOs. Let me start by saying, as a child, my sister hated me. Anything I say, anything I do is stupid and it's wrong. Even if I'm agreeing with her, I'm wrong somehow. I'm sorry, guys. My hair, I gotta put a hat on. My hair's like hit me in the eye. This is story number one, okay? My grandma Dolores and my grandpa Tom, when Independence Day came out, my grandpa was like, whoa! My grandpa watched Close Encounter. He watched aliens. My grandpa loved alien stuff. My grandma Dolores was kind of into it too. They watched X-Files religiously. So if you've watched other story times, you know my grandma and grandpa pretty much raised me. My dad was gone. My mom was working. My mom was a kid. She had kids young, so she just dropped us off with it. Many of you probably grew up with your grandma and grandpa. Same stories, all right? When you have young parents, they tend to work a lot or want to go hang out with their friends. Like, yo, watch them. That's what situation we were in. So much that we went on like a week vacation with my grandma and grandpa. My grandma Dolores and grandpa were the only reasons I had fun as a kid. Without them, it would have been so much worse. So my grandma and grandpa say, hey, let's take a road trip. And I'm like, yeah, where are we going? They say, Rachel, Nevada. And I'm like, that sounds boring, grandma. And she goes, no, it's a UFO hotspot. And I lit up. I thought aliens were the craziest thing as a kid. All the movies, all the stuff, you know, it's the 90s, man. I'm watching alien movie. My grandpa loves Alien, Close Encounters, like I said. So I grew up like, and Mars Attacks came out. I'm like, oh my God. This story takes place when I'm about 7 or 8 years old. Keep that in mind. So we go on a road trip to Rachel, Nevada. Okay, I'm gonna pop the pictures up. I will have my mom find them. We stopped on the side of the road because they have like a fake flying saucer. I'm losing it. I'm just staring at the mountains like, I'm gonna see one. It's a hot spot, I know. Like 30 miles, I think, from the world's largest crater that might be radioactive still, so you're not really allowed to go. And then you can see the lights of Vegas, and then you can see like planes in the desert. My grandpa's like, that's Area 51. Wow! As a kid, I'm losing it. You know, I think like, yo, what's up? I'm gonna meet an alien and we're gonna become homies or something. That's the child imagination. We get to this place in Rachel. There is one like restaurant the restaurant where you walk in and everybody goes, that guy ain't from here. You know what I mean? One of those towns. My grandpa looks like James Brown. My grandpa looks like a black dude. So we walked into this and I'm like, ooh. My grandma's a white Jewish woman though. So I'm like, hey, I think we'll be okay. Very nice people. But you know, you see movies and like dudes in cowboy hats looking at. Let me clarify it now. Super nice people. Very, very, very cool. But it's just what I thought as a kid, like, ooh, we're in the cuts. We're in the desert. So we walk in, and when we walk into this tavern, bar, restaurant, the only thing in town besides mobile homes behind it, turns out later that those are the hotel rooms. We are staying at this resort, right? We're staying at this dirt patch that has a bed. I didn't care. I loved it so much. I thought it was the coolest experience. I walk in and there is so much alien memorabilia on the walls, like pictures, Guadalajara, Brazil, Los Angeles. It's pictures of UFO sightings, pictures of like aliens on autopsy stuff. You know, like just alien enthusiasts. There's about 15 people inside this restaurant bar thing. It's the middle of the day and people are just sitting there drinking. Like it's one of those towns that you see in movies. I didn't think those places exist. They totally do. So we walk in, we start getting our food. The lady that does the cashier for the food spot, the restaurant, is the person that checks you into the hotel with a key and a stick attached to it. One of those places. So I'm excited, man. I'm looking around like, whoa, an alien, a triangles, UFO. I'm looking at all the pictures. They have blow up dolls of aliens, rubber alien dolls hanging on the wall. I'm a kid, I'm like, wow. I just thought it was incredible. It's about 25 minutes after we get there, guys. We're just having our food. I think it was biscuits and gravy because all I ate as a kid. I was eating biscuits and gravy. I'm like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. Remember, it's just like a little family. My grandma and grandpa and their 2 grandkids. We come into town, we're staying in one of the mobile homes, like we're gonna do the alien tour thing. Like, I'm excited. I go into the bathroom of this restaurant. I sit on the toilet. I'm a child, I'm about 8 years old, but I also have vision and a brain that works and a memory, so I remember this vividly. I am on the toilet. Remember, it's just desert. I don't know how far these mountains are, but you can see them in the distance. Like they're not close because they're far. You can see the mountain ridges though. If you really look like, oh, okay, those are huge mountains out there. Rachel, Nevada, Google it, I don't know. So I'm on the toilet. I look out, the window's cracked open and it is a shack of a building. The window's cracked open. I'm just looking out the window like, wow, we're gonna see aliens, I bet. And I'm just going to the bathroom. I look out the window and no way. I swear to you on my life, I know what I saw. I saw 2, 3 black lines that almost look like a triangle. Not solid in the middle, but like reflective in the middle, and I can see the hard outlines of it, and it's just doing this across the sky. I'm like, no, why? I get up. I am mid-bathroom. No wiping of any kind. I do nothing but stand up. I wasn't that fat yet, so I remember I was wearing jeans. I remember all this vividly. I pick up my pants, I bust through the door, my pants are being held up by my hands. I start screaming. I mean, bloody murder, screaming. Everybody in the restaurant gets up, looks at me. My grandpa's like, what's wrong? I'm like, there's a UFO. I scream, there's a UFO outside. Like a kid, I just got one. Oh, you guys live here. I've been here for 30 minutes. I run outside. Remember, full-grown adults are following me. Follow the magic brown kid. That's pretty much what's happening. Like, he's got the vision. About 6 or 7 grown men and women sprint after me with my grandma. My grandma was a bigger lady, so she didn't come outside. I remember her specifically just not getting up. I remember thinking, you're gonna miss it! And I run outside, and everyone's behind me. I'm looking at this guy, I go, there! And this thing is going behind the mountains. I'm looking at it, and I look around and nobody cares. They're all looking at me and they go, ugh, and walk back in. And my grandpa does this one, suck, like the teeth thing, looks at me. I look at him like, you don't see that thing? He goes, it's a weather balloon. I was so appalled and upset and shocked that nobody saw what I was looking at. I'm staring and I just see the triangle. My grandpa, you don't see the triangle moving across? It was going fast, disappeared behind the mountains, and kept going. And you can see it when it got away from the mountains. It's going fast. And I could see it from how many miles away? It wasn't small. My sister just goes, you're an idiot. And I just instantly felt so stupid, guys. I felt like an idiot. And I stood out there for 5 minutes looking at this thing, and it did this. Went back the other way. I'm like, there's no way that you guys don't think that's what I think it is. To this day, guys, I don't know if those people had seen that thing before. Like, ugh, who cares? Or was my mind just going crazy? But I know what I saw. Like, I know what I saw. I stared at it. My grandpa saw it too, but just said, that's a weather balloon. Walked back in. And I just thought, like, Grandpa, you're a grown man. How are you not looking at this? it made me upset. There was I mean, come on, what are the odds? There was a meteor shower 2 days later. We stayed for a few days, and me and my grandpa and my sister, we drove out like 15 miles, I don't know, wherever we went. We drove, laid down, and watched a meteor shower. I've never seen the sky light up before. Like, it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen or experienced ever in my life. Part 2 to this story. I'm gonna leave it in here. I should probably save it for like an aliens part 2, but I'm gonna do it anyway. On this trip, and this is the thing that made my grandpa scared and my grandma scared, and I don't care what my sister says, my sister was scared. I saw the look on her face and I knew I'm not stupid. My grandma's a backseat driver. She will scream and yell at my grandpa, but she will not drive a car. She hated driving. So my grandpa would just sit there like, shut up! Me and my sister in the back seat just loving it. It was a free show. We loved when my grandpa would finally freak out and my grandma would calm down. Like, but you did it. And like, it was a show, dude. George Costanza's parents, dead on. Seinfeld, it was George's parents screaming at each other. That was my grandma and grandpa. But they like each other. So we're sitting there just like, oh God. Because my grandpa decides to take a dirt road. My grandpa got off a main road. My grandpa had this big map. He's like, see, it says nothing's over here. That's where Area 51 is. We went on a hunt. My grandpa's down, all right? We went on a hunt. We were going down some road, a dirt road, then there's a barbed wire fence. I remember we're just going down this road and my grandma's like, turn around, Tom, my grandpa's name's Tom, turn around. And my grandpa's like, no, we're gonna see something. We're gonna find something. And we're driving. I'm like, Grandpa, go, let's go. Like, we're gonna see something. We come up like 15, 20 minutes of driving in the dust, and my grandma's screaming the whole time at him. Me and my sister dying. We come up to a fence, like, you know, there's a fence along us, but we come up to like a fence that has a gate, and it says, violators, trespassers, shot on sight, U.S. government. It didn't say will be prosecuted. It said shot on sight, shot, like killed. My grandpa read it and he went, oh, look at that. He went, look at that. He called me boy. I was like, hey boy, look at that. Shot on sight, Grandpa, don't go no more. And I got so scared. I'm like, yo, what if we get shot at for being right here? My grandpa had his little camera. He had his little disposable camera, and we're there for 2.5 minutes. I promise you, it was less than like a song on the radio. We're all just like, whoa, U.S. government, look at this sign. And you know, like in the distance, there's ridges or like little hills. You've been in the desert, right? It's not all flat. There are some mountains in Nevada. So we were going down a road, right? And then we come up to a fence. Can't go anymore unless we want to get shot, apparently. And plus, we're in a car. We can't drive over the fence. So that's the farthest we can go. But my grandpa's like soaking it in. He's like, look at that. I bet you there's like aliens out here. My grandpa's playing to me. You know, I'm a little kid. Like, oh my God. He's looking at me like, I just saw one. Like, he's just messing with me, right? Plus, this was 2 days after the restaurant incident where I looked like an idiot. So my grandpa's trying to like, hey man, I bet you there are some. Like, trying to make me feel not stupid. It's under 3 minutes, like I said. We're in the car, and then on my life, my sister was there, so she can't deny this. On the ridge, mountain ridge, this way. I'm in the back seat behind my grandpa. On the mountain ridge, a white pickup truck, like a, I don't know, like a Dodge, like not a huge one. Like a pickup truck, a regular old 90s from the 90s pickup truck. It goes up on the ridge, has no markings on it. It's like 400 yards away. You could tell if it said writing on it, like police. It was just a white truck, no marking. I'm like, whoa, Grandpa, look. And my grandpa looks at him, he goes, whoa, our security. Because we're at a fence we're probably not supposed to be. And I noticed all over the ground past the fence were little sticks. Like sticks everywhere, but like metal. So I'm thinking they're sensors. I don't know, but I saw it in the, oh, that's real government stuff. We need to leave. That's what I said in my head. Outward, I said, Grandpa, take some pictures. I was hyped. Truck goes up and my grandpa's looking, and then my grandma starts really going off like, Tom, get out of here. We're gonna get arrested. Like, she is upset. I'm looking at the guy on the ridge, and remember, little kid, I am staring. I'm staring. Person gets out of the truck, car, whatever, wearing, I don't know if it was blue or brown. I want to imagine a blue or brown shirt, like with a pocket. Like, I just can see like a work shirt. You know what I mean? Like, not a t-shirt, it had a collar. You know what I'm talking about. Like a security guard, right? So I'm looking at like, oh, I can't see his face or nothing. Like, I could just see the shape of this person because it's pretty far. Fool gets out of the car, puts his like arms on top of the car, and is looking at us. First thing I thought was, man, that guy's big. He's looking at us, just like this, crouched on the car, just staring. And I told my grandpa, like, Grandpa, we probably should go now. That guy's staring at us. And my grandpa, first thing he says, we're not breaking the law. We're not going past the fence. Like, that's the first thing. He's like pushing it. My grandpa said the same thing as I said. This guy gets off the hood, off the top of the car, stands up, and I swear to you, his body went, and he was the tallest man on the planet. Like, he unfolded like the stick insect from Bug's Life. He was so elongated tall. I'm not gonna say like, he's an alien. That guy was so odd shaped. His torso was so long. I didn't understand how he could be so tall. Or the truck was so tiny that he looked 8 feet tall. My grandpa and my grandma both went, that is a tall guy. And I looked at my sister like, she's looking at me like, yeah, okay. My sister was such a jerk to me as a kid. She might have been all hyped and I said something, she went, yeah, it's whack. That's what I was dealing with. So I'm in the back seat like, that guy's 12 feet tall. Let's get out of here. But the guy got up, he's looking at us, he's in front of his truck now, the tallest man on the planet. My grandpa's like, all right, let's leave. And yes, guys, I know that part 2 of the story pretty much went nowhere. We just saw a guy and he was super tall. But the sign and my grandpa and all the little stick, everything around it just made us like, we are UFO hunters, Grandpa, let's go. In a rental car, you know what I mean? Like, we were just like a family about to get shot to death, but we made it. I had to say it, come on, my grandma and grandpa with me, we're X-Files hunting. It's one thing I'll always remember, dude, the meteor shower. Oh, you had to rent VHS tapes from the front in the mobile home and like, oh, dude, it was such a cool time. We're out there for like 4 or 5 days and it was just so boring, but so fun. Real quick, guys, before I get on to the next story, something I don't think I have ever done in any video. Right now, if you go to pushtrees.com, you can get the shirt, the hat, anything I've ever worn in any video pretty much is on the website. I know we don't advertise my company enough, but yes, pushtrees.com for all merch, all gear. Go ahead and check it out. Okay, guys, on to story number 2. This one takes place 2015. I want to say 2014. My sister lives in Santa Cruz. You guys already know that. I've talked about it in many stories. Rosie and I are currently at the Push Trees house at this time. We're just living our lives, all right? But like I said, my sister lives in Santa Cruz. I go visit her from time to time. For some reason, I don't remember why, but Rosie didn't come with me on this trip. I just went up overnight to hang out and then I came back. On my way up, I felt weird. On Pacheco Pass, if you know what I'm talking about, on the 152, I felt this weird, like, energy. I don't know what to call it. I felt off. I'm driving by myself, right? I'm just chilling. It's nighttime. If you know Pacheco Pass, it's super creepy and the moonlight just hits the big reservoir. It's like a perfect lake for a monster to pop out of. You know what I'm talking about. If you've been there, especially when it's foggy, yeah, that's some Godzilla lake. So basically I'm driving and I feel creepy. I don't know what it was. I felt super creeped out. I'm driving. It must have been like 15 minutes and I'm just, you know, just what do you do when you're by yourself? I'm just driving, looking out the window, listening to music. I look out the window and I look, I'm like, what? I see a light that's way closer than a star should be. Like, it's a pretty bright light, like a star, except it is big. It is not in the distance like a star. I'm driving, I'm looking, it's over the reservoir, I'm looking, I'm like, what is that? I almost pulled over. That's how intrigued that was. I'm driving, I'm looking at it, and this thing just does one of these. Yeah, right. There's no way I'm seeing a UFO this close to me. Where's Rosie? Where's Rosie? I bust my phone out, I start recording, and I know you'll be, where are the recordings? Like I said, I told you, I was very scared and nervous of all this. Rosie and I have 20 videos on my phone of stuff I've seen on Pacheco Pass, and I erased those. I was gonna send them into the paper anonymously, and I was still too scared. Rosie knows what's up, all right? We've seen some stuff on Pacheco Pass. Maybe there'll be a part 2 alien story time, but I think it's the same exact thing. So that's why I'm just gonna tell the story of the first time I saw this thing. So I'm taking a video, and on the video, it's like a blurry light. It's not like you can really capture this without a regular film cinema camera. Like, iPhone's not gonna capture this, but I tried. You can just see a light moving around. That was 8 phones ago, I have no idea. But that being said, no, I'm not gonna put the videos up on here. I know a lot of people are like, that's because it didn't have it. Believe what you wanna believe. I know what was on my phone, and all my homies know the videos I showed them on my phone. So no, I don't have those pictures anymore, government. All right, leave me alone. But yes, me and Rosie were taking pictures of this thing for weeks because we were going up to Santa Cruz a lot. I look out, this light's moving around. I don't know what it was. It's a actively fast moving light. I'm like, there's no way that's a plane because that is moving like irrational movements. I get to Santa Cruz, I tell my sister, she's like, you're stupid. Still, 20 years later, telling me like, there's no UFO. There's no UFO out there. I come back in the daytime like, all right, who cares? I'm just driving. I look, I see the light again in the daytime, same exact place. Same place over the reservoir, right on 152. I tell Rosie, obviously I'm called her the second it happened, and then I started recording, I sent her all the videos. She's like, what? I'm not with you, what? So I finally get home, guys. Remember, it's the middle of the day. I tell Rosie everything. I told her on the phone, but I tell her in detail, showing her, zooming in, like, look. Of course, she's like, dude, the one time I didn't go. But like I said, guys, me and Rosie went to Santa Cruz a lot. My sister lives there. We go to Streetlight Records. My sister's roommate, Ralph, he's super cool. We go to Jack's Burgers. Like, it's a fun time. So we go up the very next weekend. And what happens? Rosie's with me. What do we see? The same exact light. The same exact thing that I was trying to explain to her, and the look on her face when like she sees, not just on the phone, she sees it in person, like ghost. I could see the look on her face was the feeling I got of, what am I looking at? As a human, my brain didn't process that. I know what I've seen as a kid. I was in Rachel, but I know what I saw. But to see it as an adult, as a functioning adult, with somebody else that's an adult, and we both see it, reassured me. We stay the weekend, we come home, I don't see it again, right? Don't see it again, drive home. What's on the news? What is on Merced Sunstar? Pacheco Pass, 152. Motorists pulled over and traffic came to a halt because a sheriff stopped traffic because he saw a UFO passing over the street. This man described everything. There's a picture of it. People got videos. It was on Facebook. That I will try to find because it's not my video. I ain't getting in trouble. So anyway, guys, the sheriff stopped all the traffic, taking videos, calling it in. There was hundreds of videos, all right? This is a main highway. So many people stopped and got videos of this. If you want, go ahead and check it out on Facebook. It's the Pacheco Pass 152 incident or whatever it is. I just know, like, thank God I'm not crazy. Me and Rosie really did. And the thing they saw and put on the news was exactly the same thing I saw. So basically, guys, for weeks and weeks, me and Rosie were just like dwelling on it, looking at our window. I'm gonna be honest, I was nervous. I'm like, yo, I got pictures of this thing. Does it know? Like, I'm just tripping. I ate too much candy one night maybe, and I'm just, this alien's gonna come abduct me. And I still don't know what it was, guys, but it was in the newspaper, and that just reassured me. I saw it on the news, like, not crazy. All right, guys, this third and final story is a redemption story. Thank you so much. Thank you, God. Thank you, whoever does all this stuff, because I got a win. I finally got a win after like 25 years of being called dumb. As I said in the beginning of the story, my sister was very mean to me as a kid. Anything I did, I'm dumb. So I'm about 23 years old at this time. Me and Rosie date for like a year. She had a job when I first started dating Rosie. She had a job. She was like an inventory inspector at all these stores. She was that lady with the clipboard and all that stuff. Now, Rosie did some cool stuff. Rosie was at work in Atwater. I go to pick her up. Me, my cousin Adrian, my sister Shireen, and my sister's driving. I'm in the passenger seat. Cousin Adrian right behind me, empty seat for Rosie. We pick up Rosie. I'm gonna explain this to you if you're from Merced. We pick up Rosie from Atwater. We're coming down Franklin, I believe. We hit Fur Road, F-U-R, Fur Road in Merced. It is about 11 o'clock at night. Rosie's in the car with us now. My sister, the one that doesn't believe in aliens, the one that says I'm stupid, she's driving. I'm in the passenger seat. We're coming down Fur Road, about to hit Beechwood. I look up, and I'm like, what is that? I see, a very, very, very bright light, like a shining bright light. Not a race car driver or a pilot, so I don't know the G-forces and the speed, but it's coming in so violently fast, I feel like, is that a meteor? Are we dying? I just start screaming, oh my God! Instantly. My sister's like, "Fool!" And I point and go, what is that? I'm screaming, look! And we're coming down the road. This thing's in the sky coming at us, toward us, but in the sky. And I see my sister go, oh my God! That moment I went, yes! Story just started. This thing's coming in fast, bright light, fast. No noise. Yeah, we're in a car. You think you'd hear a plane or helicopter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't hear nothing. This thing's, here's our car. We come up, we're on Fur, we stop at Beechwood. Right when we stop, we see this thing and it just, guys, when I tell you I've never seen anything besides movies like this, it looked like CGI in my own vision. I look and it's dark, it's nighttime. This light is going how many miles an hour? I have no idea. I can't believe I'm even talking about this. Rosie's gonna trip right now when I tell her what story I told. This light just goes, I mean, at the speed of light, or how fast it was going. My said, oh my God. She stops. We look at this light and it goes, and it just dead stops. We're at the stop sign above a house, not across the street, diagonal. We can see the shape of this thing and it's like, I want to describe this. It's like this. It's like, it's not a flat shape. It's thick in the middle. Just like that. Like the sides are skinny and it's thick in the middle, like a ball in the middle. But you can still see, I can't see the color. I can only see the outline of it. The light is off, right? The second it stopped, light went off. And my sister, I'm doing this. You see? I'm cussing, screaming at her. I told you! I'm slapping her in the shoulder like she's not even getting mad at me. She's just doing this. Oh my God. And she's staring out her car window and I'm like, ah! And my cousin Adrian's like, what? What? He's behind me. He couldn't see it. He missed it. Rosie has her head out the window and she's like, oh my God. Oh my God. And my sister goes, should I follow it? And I say yes. It's across the street. Remember, the moon's behind it, so I can see the outline. It's like a silhouette. There's no noise, no sound, there's no light anymore. My sister starts going straight. Remember, it's diagonal. She starts going straight till we can line up with it, and it starts doing this. Moving with us. It has started moving with us. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say to you? This thing was 15 yards away from me. I'm staring at it. My sister, the person that despises my life as a kid, is going, is that a UFO? She is almost on the verge of like, I can see it on her face. And I'm like, good, I hope it shoots a laser in the sky so you can't say nothing. I'm looking at it and I go faster. Go faster. And there's speed bumps on that road, so you know exactly where I'm at. Guys, with my cell phone, I roll my window down, hip out the window, holding onto the car like this, recording, can't see anything on my phone. How is that possible? We watched the video, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm hanging out of the window going, faster, like smacking on the thing, on the top of the hood. And my sister's starting to smash. I'm like, yo, are we gonna capture a UFO on film? Are you kidding? I'm losing it. I have one arm holding on to where the windshield or where the wipers would be. Hip out the window like, I could die. It was pretty stupid of me. We're going like 35. And that's when I'm like, slow down. I'm gonna get back in. Because I really did thought like, if you take a turn, I am going to fly right off the car. It started doing this, guys. Like a kid, like a dog. It's messing with a kid like, what's up? What's up? It started doing this. And guys, it started going up. And I swear on my life and everyone's life I've ever met, this thing took off into the sky so violently fast. It's like when a light goes off. Like, you know, light goes on. It was gone and there in seconds. But a second it got like into the sky. It was over Atwater in 2 seconds flat. Hold on. It takes off and then the light goes back on and we could see it. It's just in the air, moving around like over the fields by Franklin Beechwood, past Santa Fe. It's just over those fields. I'm back in the car. We stopped, we're pulled over, and my cousin Adrian's like, what are you guys talking about? The whole time, he didn't see anything because he was behind me and tucked. He didn't see anything. So he was like, why are you getting out of the car? Because my sister, oh my God. So he didn't know what was happening. Everybody's screaming. Rosie, I look back at her, she's like this. She's like, what's going on? I look at my sister and she's like that. Like not shaking, but I could see her hands like this. Like I could see them slightly moving and like I can see the fear on her. And I look at her and I go, I'm not gonna say it family friendly. I cuss in her mouth. I'm like, ah, I told you. I'm like screaming in her face, like screaming at her, like, I told you. And she goes, I don't know what that was though. The look on her face told me everything I needed to know. The story's not even close to being over. We hit Beechwood. We're all ghost white, except Adrian, just like, okay, UFO. We're all looking at my phone. Nothing. Nothing. How? I don't even know how it's possible. It didn't even show up on my phone. Like, it was too dark. But my eyes could see. Going down Beechwood, about to hit Santa Fe, take a right to go back toward town. What happens? In the distance, I go, there it is! And I see it coming across the field by where Richwood Meat is. You know what I'm talking about? Like those fields, like, and this thing is going so fast. And I'm thinking, how is nobody else on the road pulled over? This thing is abnormally fast, bright lights zipping through Merced, and nobody cares. Once again, my sister floors it. I didn't even ask her to floor it. She just goes, and I'm like, oh, she knows. She knows that something is above us, and she just doesn't want to admit it to me. Because she floored it. She's going 80 down Santa Fe. Didn't ask her to do that. So I'm looking, and I'm like, yo, there it is. And it, boom, it's in the field right above the food center, right above Walmart. Like 50 feet above Walmart. Not high. Why isn't anyone losing it? We're still going down the street, and it's above Walmart, and then goes down toward the dump, down 59, like above it. So we turned down 59, and I didn't even ask my sister. She just goes. Like, she is Indiana Jones of the car right now, and she's taking us. And I'm like, it's just one of those things in myself of like, I'm so right. I'm so happy that I'm right. Even if it's not an alien, you can't explain it. We're zipping down 59. We're smashing down 59. And this light just goes like this. That was it. Just took off. Like a bright off-white light, almost like a dingy white, not yellow, like an old white shirt that's been worn way too much. We drove back to my house. I'm in the seat doing Crash Bandicoot stuff, like, yeah, I'm screaming. I'm like, I told you, remember Rachel, Nevada? Stupid. Remember the other time? You're dumb. I'm going hard. She took it. She didn't even get mad at me. I expected her to tell me to get out of the car. I really thought she was gonna get that mad at me. I could see Rosie like, because I know what I've seen, bro. I know, because I told her about the 152 Pacheco Pass thing. She's like, you're wrong. Even in the paper, you guys are all dumb. Like, everything doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. She don't care. That night, man, changed my whole life. Like, it was the ultimate win. It was so amazing. It's like when Miss Trunchbull just ran out of the building in Matilda and to never be seen again. I'm like, yo, don't ever say that I'm dumb. Don't ever say my imagination's stupid. Brought this story up 2 years ago. My sister said, I don't remember that. Like that though. I don't remember that. Like she does remember, but she's not gonna say, of course I remember the night that I saw an alien with you, Thomas. Like, she's not gonna say it, but I swear I looked at Rosie like, you were there. You were there. That's all I need to know. You remember Shireen losing her mind. And that, guys, is the third and final story. Story number one, Rachel, Nevada, my grandma and grandpa going on a quest, alien hunting quest, seeing the scary guard, and I may or may not have made myself look like an idiot in front of the 8 people that live there, but it was awesome. Story number two, I know what I saw. I'm not tripping. Yeah, I eat candy a lot, but no kind of candy that makes you hallucinate. I know what I saw. Then the sheriff on the news really reassured me that I'm not tripping. Then the third and final story, I got my redemption. My sister could never ever deny it. I don't care if she says she don't remember. She was there, she was shaking, I win. I know that was kind of intense story time. There are so many more. I've seen so many more things that don't make sense. Merced is kind of like that place. You remember that show, Erie, Indiana? When we were kids, I think it was on Nickelodeon. It was a town where a bunch of weird stuff happened. That is what I feel like Merced is. There is so much stuff happening if you just look. But also, if you don't believe that this is real, now I don't care anymore, because now the government's on TV finally telling me I'm not crazy. I don't care. I'm not gonna get locked away at some crazy prison for talking about this. I was genuinely scared to talk about this stuff. I've seen so many things. I had this platform. I was on Instagram and YouTube. Like, I don't need to put that on my platform. What if the government don't like that? So guys, this has been the alien story time, the UFO story time, whatever you want to call it. I just have these stories from when I was a child. I've never talked about them publicly. I've told my friends about this when we have crazy sessions to just chill, just talk about stuff. So for all my homies out there, yeah, isn't it crazy? I finally told some of this stuff, and I know, like I said, Rosie's gonna go, you really talked about it? No matter what, the Adventures of Yola channel, there's so much I can do. Just pick a topic, all right? Last week was growing up poor. This week is aliens. So you tell me what you want to hear. I can go on for days about anything. Just let me know, drop a comment, and above all, leave a like. Tell a homie that this channel is here. I'm paid on this channel. I'm verified on this channel. I actually get recommended. I'm on watch pages. It's pretty awesome, man. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for sitting through probably the wildest story time I've ever had on any channel. Once again, finally, it's 2022 and I can actually talk about this stuff without feeling like I'm gonna get a needle in the neck in a hallway somewhere and I'm gonna wake up in a room. I've just seen too many movies, guys. I know, I've seen too many movies and my imagination runs wild. So that was it, guys. That's the alien story time. Thank you for being here. This is the Adventures of Yola channel. Many, many, many more videos to come. We're at 222,000 subscribers. Super awesome number, all right? Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Just trying to get to that million, all right? YouTube actually likes that I don't smoke or cuss on this channel. They gave me the plaque. I have a YouTube plaque. I just want to see that million plaque. That would be really, really awesome to see. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Until next time, I'm Dope as Yola. Have a dope day.